Okay. Alright. I think the music is a bit quiet. Could just be me. It's at 60. I think it's just me. I think it's loud enough. So that's fine. Alright. Where are we at? Am I recording? I am. Perfect. Alright. Scalebrook. It's a merchant. How do I? Oh, that's how you. Did we take out all those orcs? Is there others? You know what? I really don't know. We're just. I'm gonna go to that question mark. Yeah. Oh, I haven't played this game in a while, fellas.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall.
That's good. Enter.
You enter the city and the garrison at its center without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters, that you are halted by a guard.
Dwarves, eh? Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
I don't know yet.
It looks like you've got an orc problem.
Had. Our scouts detected the army early on, and we were able to repel them without any great losses. A small army of orcs like that couldn't breach our mighty walls.
Your mighty walls look like they're about to collapse under their own weight.
The soldier isn't intimidated by Boindil. He juts his chin out confidently.
At least they stopped the orcs, unlike your dwarven walls in the north.
Oh, jeez, you shouldn't have gone there. Shouldn't have gone there, friend.
I didn't know that Steepleton was so big. Impressive place.
We have fertile meadows. That's what we have to thank for the city's growth in recent years. At the time of my grandparents, Steepleton was nothing more than the tower on a hill with a couple of houses. Now we have a market, a temple, and of course, there are royal messengers stationed in the tower, which doesn't do the city's coffers any harm at all.
Eye on the hog. I'd like to send a courier to Lot Eonin.
You said you had messengers here. I'd like to send a carrier pigeon to Lot Yonin in Yonendar.
Lot Yonin in Yonendar. No problem. It will cost you 90 gold pieces.
I have that money, right?
If the carrier pigeon delivers my message safely to Lot Yonin, then it's worth its weight in gold.
Then I'll send for a scribe. You can dictate your message and
Thank you, but I can write it myself. Paper and ink will be sufficient.
The guard nods. You don't blame him for thinking you are illiterate. Very few ordinary folk can read or write. Once you've been given the writing implements, you write down a summary of what happened at the meeting of the Alf and the Orcs.
Speak with the
I
commander.
must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the orc attack.
How do we persuade this guy? Information about the orcs that might be of interest. I only need to speak for him for a minute. I know the information.
Commander Valor is dealing with the orc problem, and I have important
Persuasion.
information concerning it.
Plus
I witnessed
5.
a meeting of the orc lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you.
Persuasion skill
The
leveled up.
commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the orcs could be useful. We have fought them back, but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions, as you tell him about the 3 orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the Al-Sintharas.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
They were able to escape?
The orc army that attacked you was able to escape.
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
Well, you can go south.
To the south. Towards Scalebrook, perhaps. We defeated an army of orcs down there. It wasn't an easy fight, but they'd already taken a bit of a beating. By Steepleton's soldiers, I assume.
The commander looks at you and seems torn for a moment. Then he pulls himself together.
Perhaps you didn't know, but the administration had a bounty on the heads of that horde of orcs. Here, this gold is well deserved.
Okay, alright.
We must press on. Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many orcs as you can, dwarves. Palandi will be with you.
Alright. Okay. Just go to the tavern.
While taking a rest, you see a car trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female dwarves look like?
Beards.
Pretty. Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
And what do they do? I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes. It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle. Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
True, true.
You arrive at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep."
Okay. Observe the surroundings.
You observe the surroundings, but the road is empty, and no one leaves the tavern. You notice a broken window on the first floor, which has been boarded up with planks. Something wet drips onto your nose, and you look up to the cloudy sky with a bad-tempered expression.
Why are we standing here and just getting wet from the outside?
I'm curious, what, Bondale or whichever brother you are. I'll enter.
You enter the tavern with a determined stride, and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks.
Wait, why? We're just dwarves.
In the tavern, there are half a dozen people sitting at the tables, and just as many at the bar, clearly farmers and labourers from the surrounding villages. Boindale pays no attention to the other guests and trudges over to a table. Together with his brother, you follow him and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing shut
Shut your mouth, you racist bastard. Let's
I
get the
wouldn't
elf
mind a
first.
pint of ale.
The landlord nods and takes the twins' order too. Shortly after, he returns with your beers and puts them down in front of you.
Is that all?
Ooh. Sure. Let's get a good
We're
room.
tired and long for a proper bed.
Of course, gentlemen.
You spend a restful night in the tavern and then head off on your way again.
Should have asked why they were. But most people are just racist. So what does it even matter? Let's go to question mark.
You arrive at a small, bustling village. One thing is clearly missing from the lively scene. The sound of metal on metal from the village smithy that would normally be heard above everything else at this time of day. A dour, grim-looking man is sitting in front of the forge with his right arm in a sling. His expression brightens as he sees you, and he jumps to his feet.
Dear Dwarves, could I interest you in helping me in my workshop for a day?
The man's expression is somewhere between desperation and hope. As you don't answer immediately, he continues.
You will, of course, be royally rewarded for your work.
Now I'm
I can
interested.
offer you 100 gold pieces.
100? What happened to your arm?
What happened to your arm?
A stupid accident. A box of blanks fell down. I was trying to catch it. It will heal, fortunately, but I won't be able to wield my hammer for a while.
You must have quite a backlog of work.
You nod sympathetically. You always felt bad if you were ill or couldn't work in the forge for some reason or other.
Loads. But if what I hear about the metalworking skills of the dwarves is true, it will be easy for you to manage it in a day.
Better pay? No,
I'll
we're
help
not.
you. I worked in a forge for a while.
You modestly conceal that in this case, a while means almost a whole human lifetime. A little later, you are standing in the workshop, examining the smith's inferior tools, while he fires up the forge and prepares everything for the job as well as he can with just one good arm. You weren't able to persuade the twins to help you. As warriors, they'd rather go hunting, Boindil declared. But you think it's more probable that you'll find them drinking beer. But you don't care. You're excited about being able to smith again after such a long time. Hours later, you have forgotten everything around you. The heat of the forge, the sweat on your warm skin, the play of the flames. You're in your element, and work as if in a trance. The smith left the workshop ages ago, with a satisfied grin on his face.
Wait, I'm talking to you.
You look up in surprise. Everything but the beating of the hammer had ceased to exist, and you didn't notice that someone has come in.
Can you do it?
You immediately dislike the middle-aged man.
Who
He
wouldn't?
sounds you out so doggedly with his light grey eyes that it feels as though he wants to look right through you and into your deepest thoughts. The man points to two horses.
Those two, in 1 hour.
Consider it not. What's the deal with the horses? You want me to shoot these horses? No problem. Yeah, no problem.
These two need shoeing. No problem.
The man doesn't look convinced, but you get to work with confidence after examining the horses' hooves. Two more armed men are standing next to the horses, sizing you up.
Talk to them.
So, you're mercenaries, I take it?
You're only trying to engage in conversation, but the man looks at you incredulously, as if he didn't expect dwarves to be able to talk.
Something like that.
Got lots of work? Oh, do you know anything about the armies of orcs from the south?
We can't complain.
The man's tone makes it clear that the conversation has ended here. You carry out the work in silence. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes. The men leave the workshop without a word.
Concentrate on the rest of the
You
work.
ignore the horsemen and concentrate on your work. When you tell the twins about your visitors later on, they know exactly who you're talking about. They encountered them on the way back from hunting. You spend the night in the smith's house and continue on your way, with your well-earned reward the next morning.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Right. Dwarf merchant. What do you think that boy has, huh? The merchant? Why can't I see what this place is? You know, see. Let's just take a look.
In the early evening, you make an unusual discovery on the side of the road. A colourful trader's wagon has been carelessly abandoned, with not a soul in sight.
I don't like the look of this one bit, Boindle. You take a look around there, I'll stay on this side. Tungdil, you check the surrounding area, and be careful.
Yes, sir. Feel your surroundings. View surroundings.
You scan the road and the woods on both sides.
Investigation
Apart
mode,
from the
baby.
twins who are fighting their way through the undergrowth within earshot, you can't hear or see anyone.
What about tracks? Tracks. Search for tracks.
You can see a lot of tracks in the mud around the wagon. Hoof prints and footprints from humans in heavy boots. At least half a dozen long ones must have approached the wagon from the woods on both sides.
Bandits. Examine wagon.
The wagon itself isn't damaged, nor is the drawbar. But the belts and leashes that normally hold the draft animals have been cut clean through.
Damn. Enter wagon.
The dwindling daylight provides little light inside the wagon. It smells of leather, spices, and candles. And there's another smell in the air, which you can't quite place. It reminds you of your forge in Lot Yonan's vaults, but different.
How so?
It is messy, but no more so than you would expect from a single dwarf. The bed is rumpled, and there are tools and leftover materials piled up on the little workbench. There are several cupboards hanging on the right-hand wall. At the end of the wagon, there's a large wardrobe, and next to the door on the left is a heavy wooden chest with rusty metal hinges.
Examine cupboard.
The smaller cupboards are piled high with a multitude of tins and boxes, all filled with odds and ends that the trader offered for sale to customers on his trips. Nothing of real interest.
Examine a wardrobe.
You reach for the knob of the wardrobe, and then stop. The rug in front of the wardrobe squelches as you step on it, as if you had stepped in a puddle.
Blood.
You try to work out what has soaked the rug, when suddenly the door of the wardrobe springs open and something bounces into you. You take a step back, and the realization of what hit you makes you take two more. Lying on the floor in front of you is the body of a dwarf, headless.
Damn.
His head has been cut clean from his neck. The dwarf is wearing clothes that look more like human robes, and bears no coat of arms that would identify his kingdom. You didn't know him, but no one deserves to die like this.
Examine his corpse.
His head is being cut off cleanly, probably with a sharp blade. A quick glance in the wardrobe confirms what you already suspect. The dwarf's head is nowhere to be seen.
A trophy from some sick bastard. The chest.
As you try to lift the lid of the chest, you realize that the lock has been broken out of the wood. You open the lid and look inside. Amongst clothes and some empty boxes, you find a loot case and a beautiful loot of the kind that humans build, as well as a bag of bread and cured meat.
I mean, I'm taking this stuff. The
You
guy's
take the
dead.
loot. You
He's not
can't
gonna need
play,
it.
but an instrument like this is worth good gold. You take the bread and the cured meat. The extra provisions should keep you going for a few days.
Leave the wagon. Tell the twins.
You give a short, sharp whistle, and the twins come running at the double. You tell them what you found.
A group of horsemen with heavy boots has been here. I found Mort in the wagon. Beheaded. I have a hunch that the mercenaries from Fallow Rock have something to do with this.
Wretched dwarf killers!
You can tell that Boindil wants revenge and can understand his feelings well.
So do I.
You wrap the body in linen, dig a hole in the woods, and place the body in it. You lay a couple of his tools and other personal belongings you found in the wagon next to him. You wish there was more you could do for him. You continue on your journey in gloomy spirits.
If I find those bastards, they will pay. They will pay.
You come across an orchard next to a farmstead and surrounded by several fields of wheat. You don't see anyone working in the fields, but there's a young man lying under an apple tree. He has his legs crossed and a straw hat is covering his face.
Ask him about mercenaries.
Excuse me, but we're looking for a group of mercenaries. Have they passed by here?
The young man is startled. He must have nodded off. He looks around anxiously. When he sees you, the fear disappears from his face and is replaced by curiosity. It seems to you that the man is sizing you up.
And if I answer, what's in it for me?
$30 gold? You'll hold on to your legs. How does that sound?
If you can't help us, we'd be happy to ask the owner of the farmstead. We'll just tell him that the man sleeping in the shade of the orchard sent us. What do you think?
The man seems to size you up, and then a crooked smile spreads across his face.
All right, you caught me. The people rode northwest. But please don't tell Father Mullen.
There's no reason for that if you told the truth. So, northwest, you say?
You continue on your journey, while the lazy labourer sinks back into the grass.
Man, what a bastard. Lazy little bastard. Northwest. So this right here?
The first thing you notice as you enter the village of Clintal is how quiet it is. There is hardly a soul in the streets, and the few people you do see immediately disappear into their houses as you get closer. Boindil draws his axes, and Boendal his raven's beak.
Something's not quite right here. Be alert.
Continue in the village.
You walk on until you reach the village square. Without a word, men enter the square from the left and the right, cutting off your way. You recognize the leader of the group of mercenaries, looking you over with a satisfied expression. Standing next to him is a frail man with greying hair, who doesn't seem able to cope with the situation. He tries several times to say something, but can't find the right words.
Are you going to kill us just like you killed the travelling trader?
The leader of the mercenaries shakes his head sadly and seems shaken.
You fiends want to lay the blame on us?
You damn murderers! Murderers! Come here, dwarf killer!
I want his head.
Are you denying your terrible deed? You were seen murdering poor old Mort, one of your kind, in cold blood.
The old man points unnecessarily to the leader of the mercenaries.
We found Mort's wagon on the side of the road a few days ago. He had been decapitated and his head was gone.
You wait a moment for your words to take full effect.
There were prints in the mud made by humans and horses.
We were there, but only after you murdered the trader.
If
We're
it hadn't
there.
been so inappropriate, you would smirk. The human has fallen into your trap.
So you were there after us, but still managed to watch us do it. Then you overtook us and only confront us now and here, several days' journey from the place where it happened. Your story doesn't seem to make much sense.
I'll say.
We know what we saw, and you won't talk your way out of it, dwarf.
The leader of the mercenaries draws his sword. Some of the villagers seem to doubt the mercenary's words, but others stand by his side, and events take their course.
I gotta fight a bunch of villagers and a bunch of bastard mercenaries. Alright, fine. Off with their heads. Kill them all! But save the mercenary leader. I want to hack his legs off and watch him bleed to death right before my eyes.
Watch out for the archers. Concentrate on the mercenaries and try not to kill the villagers.
Try not to kill the villagers. That's easier said than done, my boy. Easier said than done. Yeah, sure, start the fight. Kill the mercenaries. Wait, hold on. Hang on. How do I move? No.
Understood.
I feel like I'm done. There's no free cam in this raid. How the heck do I... I'm clicking but nothing's happening? Can I move? Where are the mercenaries? Oh, this way. This way. Right. Right. Obviously, just continue running.
On my way!
Yes?
We're gonna do a little swag. Maybe I shouldn't have ran away with the twins. I need you back.
Alright!
Baby, come back. Try not to kill the villagers. Oh my god, just kill the villagers. I don't care.
What is it?
I really don't. Villagers are dumb. Very dumb. Sweep. There.
Yes!
You can just...
On my way!
Give a good whack right there. Okay.
Yes?
I have Bowendahl! Give me a hand! And what now?
I really... The camera is dumb, dude.
Yes, yes!
Like, very dumb. I can't see a damn thing. Stupid. Camera is stupid.
And another one bites the dust!
swing like you mean it.
I can't do that yet. What is it?
Hit him with the W. Where are all the damn
Say goodbye.
boys?
Just need to easy.
These are all damn villagers. Man.
Oh, what bad luck to you.
This is just... Oh wow, dude.
Say goodbye forever.
These are the damn... I wasn't one?
Boydell. Where is Boydell?
This is annoying. That's annoying. I like this. I also don't like how I can't control the camera unless the dudes are moving. That is retarded. I'm sorry. I like being able to freely move the camera around and I can't fucking do that. Which is retarded. I'm sorry. But it is. It is. It's actually retarded. I shouldn't have the ability to move the camera around willy-nilly. I don't, which is stupid. What is this? There's a 50% to reduce damage by 50%. Extra shit. What does the other boy have? Damage for specials. Okay. Alright. Yeah.
Yes?
Not being able to move the damn cam around unless the boys are moving. Stupid. That's a villager. That's a villager. Hey, fuck it, dude. Kill the villagers. Who cares? You. Whack out.
Too easy. And what now?
W.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Come here, you.
Hey, we just killed two.
Huh?
Why did it tell me that the villagers were important and not to kill them? If I can literally
What is it?
just slaughter as many of them as I want.
I'm waiting you.
Or not as many of them as I want, but you know. You know.
Yes.
Like, slaughter the villagers. Do it. Slaughter them. Yeah. Kill the villagers. I mean, and the mercenaries. But mainly the villagers. For being such dumb guys. The biggest tards. Can I move? Hello?
Yes. On my way.
Let's move, boys. Come on, come on. Hello? Get up the hill? Get up the hill. Charge. I really like not being able to see now. It's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. I can't see, man. Can't see at all.
Come here, you. What is it? As good as done.
Goodness, man.
All right. Yes.
Not being able to see.
What is it?
Of course.
Camera is big dumb.
On my way.
Big stupid camera.
On my way.
Kill him? Kill them all? Do you not have any special? What do you mean?
Yes, yes. Here, we put up a fight. Come here, you.
Kill the humans. Do it? We did it. Sweet. Tungdale went down, but whatever. And hopefully a lot of, retarded sheeple peasants died as well. Fuck those brain dead bastards.
As the last of the mercenaries falls to the ground, the villagers stop attacking you and retreat. You and Boendal have to physically restrain Boindil until he comes to his senses. Otherwise, he would have followed them into their houses. You walk up to the body of the mercenaries' leader and search his pockets. You soon find something. A letter.
Are we gonna
An
read it?
anonymous client seeks dwarf skulls cleanly cut, shorn, and put into jars with honey.
Huh?
1,000 gold coins will be paid for each skull. Khan, Bounty Hunters Guild Master.
Disgusting.
That's bounty hunters hunting for dwarves. Despicable.
That is disgusting. Show the villagers the letter.
You hold the letter aloft so that everyone can see it.
Look, citizens of Clintel, proof that these men are the killers. They are bounty hunters hunting for dwarves.
The village elder comes out of one of the houses, flanked by other villagers. You ignore their weapons, as well as their sinister expressions, and hand over the letter.
It would seem you are telling the truth. We have been deceived and raised our weapons against the innocent.
The man's face is full of grief and pain.
And we have been made to pay. You have killed men who were close to us. Go now. We must bury them.
You manage to revenge Mort's death, but it doesn't feel like a victory. Too much blood has been spilt.
I don't really care about the stupid villagers that died. I'm gonna be totally honest. Really don't care. Bunch of brain dead sheeple. Leap attack. Charge. The leap. You can get the fuck out of dodge, and then you can also do other things like jump into the fray. All right. Okay, well that's gonna do it for me, boys. This is gonna be a bit of a short one, but that's okay. That's okay. Alright. Tally ho.